This is Lola Lee T. Hi everyone. Welcome to 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days Season 5 Episode 3 recap. So let's get into it. I'm really actually liking the show and I really love all of the couples. This season makes for a lot of drama with all of these interesting couples. So let's talk about Gino and Jasmin. They both spent the holidays together. Jasmin is vegan and doesn't like Gino eating meat. At dinner, Jasmin was all up in Gino's phone and everything was going great. Both were having a nice time. Jasmin loved when Gino paid for dinner. But then she got mad at him and she also got jealous when he wanted to tip the waitress. She then blamed him for ruining the night. When all of this happened, Gino realized that if Jasmin doesn't build trust with him, the relationship is not gonna work. Let's talk about Ximena and Kim. Kim finally arrives in Tanzania to meet the love of her life, Ximena. She was on that plane for 30 hours. I really like Kim, but I really feel like she's gonna get hurt. This woman, 30 hours on the plane, and she's not even his real girlfriend. Ximena calls her his potential girlfriend. Oh my God, Kim seems so genuine. She just wants to desperately find love. So we find out in this episode that Ximena's team, well, they picked the hotel. It was quite expensive for Kim. And they picked that particular hotel to film the music video. So I guess we can assume that Ximena did not pay for Kim's room. And that is just an assumption on my part. So apparently Kim booked the honeymoon suite at the resort that they were staying at. And she booked it on her own dime, meaning she spent her own money. And this is very concerning because Kim is not rich. She's not a rich woman. And I was really surprised to see that she even bought roses for Ximena. This lady is head over heels in love. Let's talk about Alina and Caleb for a bit. So Alina and Caleb, they meet for the first time. They hugged at the airport. Alina was sitting there in her little wheelchair waiting for him. I thought that they made a really cute couple. Caleb says that she is smaller than he thought. And there was that very cringy scene. He had a really hard time managing her wheelchair and carrying all the bags. I mean, what did you think was going to happen, Caleb? Elena thinks that maybe Caleb is not attracted to her because he didn't kiss her when they first met. And she was hoping for more intimacy on the visit. During this episode, we learn more about Mike and Ximena. I don't even know if I'm saying her name right. Ximena. So I'm just going to call her Mike's girlfriend until I can learn how to pronounce her name. So Mike is hoping to propose to his girlfriend. He plans to start the K1 visa process if everything works out on his visit to Colombia. He cannot wait to see his girlfriend and he couldn't wait to hug and kiss her. We find out that he's actually 34 years old and he has never been in love. We also find out that his girlfriend is 10 years younger. She's 24 years old. We are introduced to Ella for the first time. She's 29 years old. She is big. She's a beautiful lady. And she is obsessed with Asian culture. She even has the costumes. She loves cosplay. She loves fantasy. But she also shares with us that she has struggled with her weight her whole life. She did not date in high school. And she has not had a lot of luck in the dating department to begin with, but she feels that she has hit the jackpot with her Asian prince, Johnny. According to Ella, they have a lot in common. Johnny loves white women and Ella loves Asian men. Johnny is going to be applying for a travel visa because she cannot go to see him due to the craziness that's going on in the world. Ella, she loves horses, she's a rancher, and she hopes that one day her and Johnny can take over the ranch. We can see very clearly, and she does share with us that she doesn't like the way she looks, and she is looking for a fairy tale. Her mom is so very worried that she's going to be taken advantage of by Johnny. But Ella is so madly in love with Johnny, and she really feels that he is the one. She's so tired of trying to find that special someone, but she hopes that he will help her with her eating habits by cooking her healthy meals. And because he is Asian, well, of course, he cooks healthy meals. That's all according to Ella. Well, let's talk about Memphis for a bit. Memphis is on her way to Tunisia to meet her fiance, Hamza. She cannot wait to meet her man. As a child, she was in the foster care system and was only able to rely on herself. And she's looking for someone that she can count on for the rest of her life. And she hopes that Hamza is that person. Here is another lady that has traveled hours and hours to see their man. Her flight was actually 28 hours. We learn a bit more about Hamza. Hamza is a 28-year-old from Tunisia. He loves kickboxing. That's his passion. He likes plump girls like Memphis with a sexy body. And he loves his sexy time with Memphis. He says that Tunisian people think that American women are sluts and that they have too many relationships. In Tunisia, it's common for men to live with their parents until they're married. His mom does everything for him. She cooks, she cleans, she treats him like a baby, and he hopes his mother will teach Memphis how to cook. Hamza's mom is hoping that Memphis will respect her son. She did see some pictures of Memphis online, and she really didn't like the way she was dressed. Actually, she was very unimpressed. We find out that Hamza lied to Memphis. So Memphis is under the impression that they are allowed to share the same bedroom during her visit. And I don't know why Memphis would even think that. I mean, you would have, I don't know. I'm thinking that she would have maybe looked into his culture a little bit, but that's just me. So apparently Hamza's mother will not allow them to sleep in the same room. That is not a surprise because in Tunisian culture, two people are not allowed to have sex until they're married. But it does seem that Hamza is more modern and he doesn't necessarily agree with that, but he does have to follow the rules of his mother's house. So let's go back to Jasmin and Gino. Jasmin is still pissed at Gino because he wanted to tip the waitress. When Jasmin gets mad at him, she completely shuts down. She needs her space and she basically just ices this guy out. So Gino was hoping to make a baby that first night, but it looks like it's not going to happen because Jasmin is still mad. So we notice in this episode that Jasmin goes from being really upset with Gino to not being upset with him. And she says that she loves having sex and that Gino needs to learn to deal with the beast inside of her. Gino was very nervous because it's been a long time since he's been intimate with someone and he didn't have time to take one of his little blue pills. So he's having trouble in that department. And he didn't really take it because he didn't think that anything was going to happen between him and Jasmin because she was mad at him. So back to Kim and Usman. Kim meets Usman for the first time at the airport. She's standing there, she's holding flowers. But I'm a little old fashioned, and I really think that Usman should have brought her flowers. She is extremely happy to see him, but is he excited to see her? Usman hugs her, but while he's hugging her, he is kind of rolling his eyes. To me, it looks like Kimberly is happier to see Usman than he is to see her. He kind of sort of is acting like he's meeting a fan for the first time. Kimberly meets Usman's team for the first time, and she doesn't really like them because they called her a super fan, and they continue to give her a really hard time. And then they accuse her of inviting herself to the video shoot. But I was really impressed with Usman because he shut them down right away and he actually stuck up for Kim. So Usman's team pretty much told her that she was not his girlfriend and that she's nothing more than a potential. I really think that should have been a red flag for Kim, but that's just me. So then we see a little bit more of Ella. Ella says that Johnny has been the most supportive person to her in her entire life, and he's planning to stay with her in Idaho for 3 months, and he will be cooking her healthy meals. So there is a scene where Ella is with her friends, and she tells them that Johnny is the first guy that she's ever gotten naked for. She shares with her friends that they are pretty much having video phone sex, and apparently he is a boob guy. I wonder if these two are mutually fetishizing each other, but we shall see. We learn a little bit more about Johnny. Johnny is a single, divorced dad. He sees his son a couple times a month. She's excited to be a mom to his son. He's going to be leaving his son behind for months so that he can come visit Ella. And Ella doesn't seem to think that is a problem. She doesn't think that is an issue. But her friends do see this as a red flag. I also see it as a red flag because I really feel like they should be planning their vacation, their meeting around the son, not around Ella. And her friends are very worried about her. She was in a relationship with an Indian guy and they met in person. Apparently, he refused to do anything sexual with her and it affected her self-esteem. She thinks he wasn't attracted to her because of her body. So the reason why she's having video phone sex with Johnny, she wanted to make sure that he was attracted to her body before she committed mentally to him. And she didn't want to have a repeat of the Indian guy situation. Those are her words, not mine. Mike's girlfriend is 24 years old. She lives in Colombia. She's a single mom. Her kids are the most important thing in her life. Apparently, one of her baby daddies was a one-night stand, and the other one is in jail. She is a manicurist and loves it. She hasn't been able to work due to the craziness that's going on in the world right now. And apparently, Mike has been helping her out. She shares with us that Mike is not really her type. And then she tells us who she's really attracted to, which are policemen, tattoo artists, farmers, and even the drug dealers. She understands that the language barrier is going to be hard on their relationship, and she wants her children to have a better life in the United States. Her father is really worried about her, but he realizes that Mike is a blessing, and he's looking for someone that will take care of his daughter. So that's why he does accept Mike. But he's worried that she's bringing a stranger into her home. So even though Mike is not what she is used to dating, she is still waiting for Mike to propose. And we find out that there are some things she hasn't told Mike about her past, and it scares her to tell him because of how she thinks he'll react. Okay, so what do you guys think the secret is? I mean, has she done some time in jail? I mean, what do you guys think the secret is? So this was a big leap of faith for Mike because he's not used to doing things outside his comfort zone. And his girlfriend was supposed to meet him at the airport, but she didn't show up. That's the scene they showed. And we pretty much see him having a very tiny anxiety attack at the airport. But then luckily she does finally show up. So back to Usman and Kim. Usman wanted separate rooms because he wanted to take things slow, but Kim really wants Usman to spend the night, so she invites him back to her room, the honeymoon suite, and she hopes that all the decorations will show him what it is that she really wants. She tells him that she got the most expensive room in the hotel in a way of trying to impress him. But we can clearly see that what Kim is doing is very off-putting to Usman because she's not even his girlfriend yet. Remember, she's still just a potential girlfriend. So Kim presents Usman with some gifts. She gave him a MacBook Pro and she got him the sought-after PS5. Wow. All I was thinking was she got him some really beautiful gifts, and this lady spent a lot of money. I mean, we can clearly see it. She is so in love with Usman, but Usman is giving the gifts more action than Kim. He's hugging and kissing the gifts. But even though she did all that, he still told her he was going back to his room. But even though he's not going to stay with her in the room, she realizes that she still has 2 weeks to prove to Usman that she is the woman for him. So back to Hamza. He's excited to meet Memphis. He has some flowers for her. His mom is excited to meet her too. So then we see a scene with Hamza. Hamza is excited to meet Memphis. He has some flowers for her. I like that. His mom is really excited to meet her too. Everybody's nervous. Memphis is worried if Hamza will be attracted to her when he sees her in person because she admits that she has low self-esteem. This all stems from her past relationships where she's felt not appreciated. Hamza's friend drives him to the airport and Hamza admits that he does not know how to drive. He says that his mom is divorced, and because she's divorced, she lost her value and nobody would even give her a job. He hopes that when he comes to America, he will have a much better life and maybe be able to take care of his mom better. Hopefully, he'll get a better salary and be able to help his mom out. Of course, Hamza is very happy to see Memphis for the very first time. They both seem very pleased to see each other. But when the producer asked Hamza what he thought of Memphis, I think that she was hoping that he would say something like, oh my God, she was so beautiful, something more complimentary. But it almost came off as he was just saying, okay, yeah, she's okay. So the show ends with a scene with Caleb and Alina. Caleb admits that things are a bit more challenging than he thought it would be with Alina. He is annoyed that he's having to take care of everything. Caleb had to pick Alina up and carry her up the stairs. He was annoyed that he had to do it. But Alina actually loved it and thought it was romantic. Alina is very anxious to find out if Caleb is attracted to her, and she wants to know if he sees her as more than a friend. So Caleb didn't show any affection and he told Alina he was jet lagged. He gave that excuse. So here is my 2 cents. I don't think the relationship between Caleb and Alina is going to work because it seems like Caleb has never met a disabled person in his life. In the way that he is expressing his annoyance with a lot of her accessibility tools, As well, he doesn't understand why Elena's best friend was in the room with her. He's probably thinking that they're dating or that he's interested in her. Well, that is Elena's roommate, and they do live together. And of course, he's not going to leave his friend in a place where she can't access anything. Duh, Caleb. I mean, like, she needs a chair to get on the bed. What happens if there's a fire or something? I mean, he did witness her walk up a million stairs and then got so tired. Her roommate is not going to just leave her that way. So Caleb needs to get over that jealousy. And even if Caleb decides that he wants to buckle in with this girl, I don't think that he's the right partner for her because they've known each other for 13 years. He still doesn't understand her struggles. He has absolutely no compassion for people who have struggled with disabilities. I mean, what do you guys think? So that is my recap of 90 Day Fiancé, before the 90 days. Are you guys watching? Which are your favorite couples? Which couples do you think are going to make it? Which couples do you think are not going to make it? Let me know your thoughts on this episode in the comment section. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys.